You know what motivates me to do this course? It's my life. My entire life is all wrapped up into this course. I started out with a abusive childhood where I was told I was bad, I was sinful, and basically that I wasn't perfect, that I needed to work to be loved. I felt an extreme sense of worthlessness. When I was younger, I hated who I was. I thought I was a sinner. I thought I was, that no one would even want to hear what I had to say. I had no sense of worth. I used to hate who I was. I wanted to, at some points, I even wanted to kill myself just because I thought I was so stupid. And what was I doing on this planet? When I used to go to school, I was so shy. If I had to talk, I would start trembling. My knees would tremble. My voice would block here in my throat. I remember in high school, I spent my entire lunch period. I had like one friend who was in one of my classes, and like some days she would let me sit in the group with where they were eating, and then other days she would ignore me. And on the days that she would ignore me, I would go hide in the bathroom stall and just sit on the toilet and hide, because I was so ashamed that I didn't have any friends. I didn't even know how to be alone and to be okay with that. I just felt terrible. It felt terrible to be alive. And when the lucky days when I actually got to sit with a group, I would sit there and I'd want to say something, but I was so shy, and my brain was just thinking and thinking and thinking, what if I say this, and what will they think, and is this good, and blah, blah, blah. And by the time I was ready to say it, the subject was over and gone with. So this is kind of like the base of my childhood. When I had a friend of mine who said, I want you to look me in the eyes. I was 16. I was so shy. And I couldn't look anyone in the eyes, because if I looked at them in the eyes, I would start crying. Why would I start crying? Because I would feel the vulnerability in my soul being exposed. I would feel that they would see who I really was and that broken self within me. And I was so afraid of them seeing that. So it's been a long journey since 16. One thing I've always known is that life is short. And I've also known that there's a purpose to my life, and I've always been searching for that purpose and that meaning to my life. So that's what actually kept me going and kept me inspired. And I was afraid. I was afraid a lot of things, but one thing I've always known is that where I'm afraid means I have to do it no matter how freaking afraid I am. So that means that turned into, I'm not going to go into a long story, but that turned into street performing. Like literally getting out there in front of people and performing like with fire torches. I was so shy. I could not look at the public. I once even burned my clothing because I was looking down and like swinging these fire torches above my head and burned my dress. But I kept going out there and street performing because I knew I needed to do it. Then I went on, I was a model, I was an actress, which every time I was so shy. I mean, they were like, oh, you're so beautiful, but I didn't feel beautiful. I just felt shy, and I was using my beauty and what everyone else thought of me to try and move forward in the world. And then eventually I ended up in Italy, where I was a nomad for 10 years. And, everyone was like, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so talented. And I started building my self-esteem from the outside. So the more I did, the more perfect I could be, the more I thought people would like me and approve of me. And so I was learning to juggle, was learning to do all these cool things. I was a model, I was on television, I was on runways. And then I was a traveler. I was traveling alone in my van. I was like too proud because I was like, I'm going to change my oil. I'm going to check my tires. I'm going to carry all my stuff. And I was just looking straight forward, and I couldn't even move my neck. I always had neck problems because I was like imagining what the world was imagining how the world saw me. And I was beautiful, gorgeous, and always really attentive of how I looked and what people thought of me. And I always wanted to be the best and to be perfect. That is a lot of pressure to put on myself, being perfect. And then I went to France, where I started going to a circus school and a theater school. And by that time, I've started to become more externalized. You know, I can be social, I can be fun. I've started to get the game of being social down, and like how to be, you know, like talking with everyone, and learning how to figure out what people want me to say and how to be able to say it so that people like me. So I've gotten to get this social persona that people like, but I'm still really shy inside. And in Paris, I went to theater school, and I went to movement school. And what was funny is that in France, people don't really express to you if they think you're beautiful or they think you're like great and perfect and all that. There's kind of this thing about you're never really enough in France. So out of the blue, from going to be like brava bella, you know, like this like super like cool beautiful woman in Italy where everybody thought I was amazing, in France like nobody even cared. And so I had to work a lot on my talents inside. And, you know, and I was like working on getting better and stronger in the theater, and, you know, like better at everything and everything, you know, and so like building up so that it was like what I did was what was making me have value. And that's a hard story too, because it's like no matter what, I just keep whipping myself like I need to get better, so now people aren't going to love me because I'm beautiful, but now I need to be super talented. And so I went and learned all these things. And then, okay, this is getting to be a really long story, but I'll try and get it quicker. So in the process, about 10 years ago, actually 12 years ago, I did a yoga training where I became a teacher. And there I started really connecting to a higher being within myself, meditation, mindfulness. And it's been a process. It's been a long process going inside and connecting to the spaces within that are actually perfect as they are. And learning to recognize that I'm actually okay for who I am. It's taken a little while. I've done a lot of shamanic training. I've done the somatic movement and expressive arts program. Helped me reveal all the trauma that was stuck in my body and all the challenges that were stuck in my body, and getting rid of them and peeling off the layers one by one by one by one, and breaking it down until I get to the core of what I think about myself, and rebuilding that, and then learning about self-love and learning to accept myself and to be okay with who I am. Anyway, it's a long story, and I'm not going to go into the whole thing. I just want to say that it starts from the inside. All the fear, all the things that I think of what other people think, or what I did think. Once I've gotten to the point finally where it's like, I recognize, Carly, what is it that you want? What feels aligned with you right now? What are you feeling in this moment? What is your body feeling? And then that way I can check in. I'm like, oh, this actually doesn't feel okay. Or if I'm talking to someone and I'm noticing, I'm like trying to impress them and my heart is beating. I go inside my body and I'm listening to my heart. My heart's beating, my stomach's tightening, my shoulders are tightening. And then I'm like, okay, how can I just let go of this and relax? And I'm going to come into a place of center, and I'm just going to be authentic with this person. What is that like? So in this course, there's a lot of a lot of work getting to recognize your fears, getting to recognize your self-sabotagers. And the most importantly is learning how to love who you are and accept who you are exactly as you are. And once that comes through, then you recognize what your passions are. You recognize what even that person that over there that's like attracting to you, and you feel like you need to talk to them, and then you're like, yes, I'm aligned and I'm afraid, but it's okay, I'm just gonna go. And every time you come back into that space of like being centered, being aligned, checking in who you are and what's there, and then going over that space of fear to be like, okay, this is important. I need to be seen. I'm doing it now. And so this, over the experiences, this has helped me to be like, okay, I'm going. I need to be in this city. I need to go move to San Francisco. I have $500 in my pocket and I'm going. I don't know where I'm going to live. I don't know what job it is, but I need to be seen because this is what's inside of me and this needs to be brought forward. And so then I do it, walking with fear, hand in hand. Or saying that thing to somebody that just, who knows what they're going to say, you know? And then there's a lot of things that is actually been life-changing, which is communication. How you communicate is so important in this world. But first thing is like checking in what is actually alive within me and learning how to say it. So we'll also be going over communication and how to communicate. And that is a practice that will take a while, but I promise you, once you learn how to communicate what's really true inside and recognize the other person, the whole world opens up. You can do anything and you can talk to anyone. Okay, I'm going to stop now because that's a lot. And if you have any questions, anything, any concerns, please set up a free call. Or if you're still wondering, should I do this course? Should I not do this course? What I'd like you to do is go and check in with your body. Close your eyes, think. Does this course feel like this is going to be a contribution to me? And notice in your body, does your body feel light or does it feel heavy? Does it feel like it's expanding inside or does it feel like it's contracting? Is this course a contribution to me? Can this course be a contribution to me? Okay. Hopefully I'll see you on the inside. Bye.